Hi, Scorpio. This is your November monthly reading. So, this will be from November 1st to November 30th, 2020. For those of you who are new to my channel or you're just visiting, welcome to Amani's Lightwork. Okay, so I will be back to the Kisa Akasha readings at some point. I actually got a new request a couple of weeks ago. So, I'm going to work on that probably later today. Okay. I hope you guys had a good Halloween. I know I'm a little late in terms of asking you guys about your Halloween, but eventually I'll do like a meet and greet again. I know I did one. I can't remember the last time I did it. It wasn't live, but at some point I'll do one again. I'm just dealing with a really tight space right now, and I want to be able to do it, how I used to do it when I used to live at a different location. I had a larger table, and that's what I want. I'm dealing with this pint-sized table, and I'm doing the best that I can. All right, so yeah. Anyway, let's see what energies are coming through for you for November. I get something about work ethic too. Something about it. All right, Scorpio. So the card you have underneath is a Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords will resonates with air sign. So you're dealing with Libras. You're dealing with Geminis and Aquarians. Okay, so if it's not only air sign elements, then a Seven of Swords will be plans. I get quietly, so you may be making plans to do something really quietly. Making plans to do something quietly could be to move. It could be to work somewhere else and maybe not share where you're working with certain people, where you live with certain people. I also get this idea of getting away from someone or something too, if that makes any sense. So whatever it is that you're doing quietly, the plans that you're making, whatever it is that you deem to be doing it quietly, I get someone is aware. So when I say that too, whatever you think you're doing quietly, someone is aware, and it could be an air sign element that's aware. So it could be like you could have shared something with them openly, and they could have revealed it, or they didn't. Sharing something with them, or they just know, like someone may just know something about you. They may have I also get copies of information, and so knowing something about you also involves someone having copies of your information, or you having copies of someone's information, or someone could have given you copies of someone else's information. Just depends on what's going on, but that's giving me the idea into that's why the air sign element even knows something about a plan that you're trying to do. And if it's information related, for example, say you go to the office, like some office to do like a post office, or I know someone there. So if you go to the post office, an air sign element that you're tied to may know someone in that post office, and whatever you're doing in the post office that you deem to be doing it quietly, reiterate whatever you deem to be doing quietly at a post office, an air sign element or someone that is working in the post office may reiterate whatever it is that you're doing in the post office. They reiterate that back to the air sign, and so that could be where something that you think you're doing quietly, or you're trying to mail off something quietly to someone, the air sign element is totally aware. So if they, for example, say they're the ones that are going to the post office, it's who they send something to. So when I say that too, it has something to do with who the air sign element sends something to. You can be that person the air sign is sending something to, or they're sending something to someone that, and I get involved in a deal. They're sending something to someone that is involved in a deal, and that deal, I get someone's information. That deal involves someone else's information. That deal involves your information. So it just depends on what's going on. So there's a lot of situations going on here where That could be why someone knows what you're doing throughout the day. But I also get cameras. Knowing something that you do throughout the day, cameras are involved with what you do throughout the day. And that may be post office cameras, whatever kind of office. It could be like health insurance, it could be doctor's office, it could be work office. There's cameras around, and what you're doing with mail and information and documents, the air sign element is totally aware of. Or whatever they do like that, whatever they do along those lines like that, you could be aware of. So it just depends on what's going on. The starting point has the Three of Wands. Three of Wands are fire signs, so that would be bringing the energy of Aries and Sag and Leos. I get something about time with them. So time is either crucial with them or something that they need to bring you. You need to bring them. Time is really crucial, and it's a Three of Wands energy. And typically when I see the Three of Wands, I think about business ties with these elements. I think about information dispersing with these elements, and also what they're asking for is what the spirit is saying. So it also has something to do with a need that the fire sign energies have, but air sign information. So when I say that too, it has something to do with the air sign elements information. That's why the Seven of Swords energy is underneath. And you could be responsible for retrieving information about the air sign and giving it to the fire sign energy, or one particular fire sign energy that needs to know the whereabouts of an Aquarian. They need to know the whereabouts of a Gemini, about a Libra, etc. Just depends on what's going on there. But the idea of it, the reason, okay, I understand. There's a lot coming through here. I always get a lot for you, more than any of the other signs sometimes. What's going on with this? So it's either verbal information or document information that the air sign element walks around with. I get the Sag. The air sign element walks around with it, but it's the Sag that information belongs to, or the information pertains to. I get look for air sign. When I ran through that, the spirit said look for the air sign. So whatever it is going on with the air sign that they think that they're doing quietly involves Sag. It involves the Sag, or Aries or Leo. The spirit said Sag more profoundly. It involves the Sagittarian energy, verbal or document information. But why they give? So when I said that, why did a fire sign give some type of information to the air sign? Why did the air sign give some type of information to the fire sign? I get one is out of town. When I said that too, one of them is out of town. The Aquarius is out of town. Whatever air sign is out of town, Libra, Aries, Leo, Sag. The spirit said that what's coming through strongly is Sag and Aquarius. One of those elements could be out of town, or one of them is trying to go out of town with whose ever information. It could be your information that the air sign is going out of town with, or it could be the fire sign energies information that the air sign is going out of town with. You're trying to figure out, you're having a conversation with the fire sign in this meeting. You're trying to say, why would you give the air documents? Why would you give the air sign element your documents to take with you out of town? You know, but that's why they're moving. So when I say that too, that's why the fire sign is moving. That's why you're moving with the fire sign, or you're moving by yourself, or that's why the air sign element is moving. It just depends on what's going on. They're moving protection. They're moving because they need protection. Or you may need protection for your or not you, the fire sign energies may want protection for their information or their documents that they have. Or somebody, if it's not document information, then it's verbal information, that it's the verbal information surrounding someone that someone may, that they gave, it's verbal information that the fire sign energy reiterated to the air sign, and it has something to do with their whereabouts and documents. That's one. And the spirit also said that's why the air sign element is moving. So moving as in like moving office, moving as in like moving location, like house location, residential location. But something about that protects the Sag or whatever fire sign energy that's there. Or the fire sign energy could have already had a conversation with the air sign. I need you to leave the state. I need you to go out of state and put my stuff in this other location for me, or in a vault, or in a bank in another location, or in another state. I need you to do this for me. So the fire sign energy external may really They put a lot of responsibility. I keep getting Aquarius. They put a lot of responsibility into the Aquarian energy that's there. Whatever air sign element that's there, they put a lot of responsibility into them to do that, vice versa. I feel like maybe in the middle of a situation, or the fire sign energy just feel the need to reiterate that information to you that they did give to the air sign, or what they wanted the air sign element to do. And someone may be following through in that case as well, with the Three of Wands energy being in the starting point. That's a lot. The Ace of Swords energy is in the waiting position. So the Ace of Swords would be, it's an idea. It's an ace. So it would be an idea that you have about the Sag, about the Aries, about the Leo, about the air sign element. It's about the air sign. It's an idea that you have where they went. It's an idea of where that you have in your mind of where they went. So the fact that it's an idea that's there, it has something to do with where they went. One element about that is that you may not know where they went, but it's the fire sign energies that know where they went, and you need to talk to the fire sign energies to know where they went. Because one element about it is that the fire sign energies may not have directly shared with you where the air sign element went with their things, and you may need something that belongs to the fire sign that the air sign element was given or they traveled with. Whatever, but secrecy. So when I say that too, something in secrecy is tied into that for some reason. It's a document or some type of verbal information that you're saying that you need for yourself that was given to an air sign element that disappeared, or they were asked to disappear by the fire sign. Whatever the situation is that's there. But the Ace of Swords also in the waiting, I get track. The Ace of Swords in the waiting position is tracking somebody, tracking the air sign, tracking the fire sign. I mean, I don't feel like you necessarily need to track the fire sign. That could be something to do to you, or that's someone else. That's something that they either do to you or they do that to someone else. And tracking, I understand what's going on. The tracking the air sign, the tracking the air sign is a protective measure that the fire sign energy is trying to take. So one element about this is that the air sign element may know that they are being tracked, because they have somebody else's documents, and it's the fire sign energy document. It could be your documents intertwined with the fire sign energies. That could be another situation as well. But the Ace of Swords, you may not be getting told where someone is going with that stuff. But the Ace of Swords is doing research into figuring out where, I keep getting this idea of a trackable device and tracking. The Ace of Swords is something like that could be happening to you directly with the fire sign energies or the air sign, or the fire sign energies are trying to explain to you, they are or they are not trying to explain to you that something is trackable. Okay, something could be trackable that's happening with the fire sign energy by themselves. Something is trackable that they did with the cell phone. Something is trackable that the fire sign energies did with your cell phone or the air sign element's cell phone. So either the air sign element knows that their device like that is being tracked, or they don't. So one element about this, if the air sign element does know that, then they already had that discussion with the fire sign energy. It's okay. I know that you need to do this for this, that, and the third. I know that you don't fully trust me, that you just want to see where I'm going with your things. I'm putting your stuff in this, that, and the third vault, or I'm taking it to this, that, and the third lawyer or bank and whatever, accountant that is in another state, province, or country. I'm trying to explain that to you. That's the air sign element's voice to the fire sign. Or that's the fire sign energy voice to you. Or that could be your voice to someone in a post office or in a lawyer's office, some office or workplace. That could be your voice to the fire sign energies as well. And they may feel the need to track you. You feel the need to track them. Or you could have once done that to them before. Or that's them explaining that to you that they're doing with the air sign, because the air sign element has their things. But it's either a trusted interaction or someone literally doesn't know that they're being tracked like that. Which is really interesting. The King of Wands energy is in the present. So King of Wands would be, like I said, fire sign energies. This could be a Sag. It would be like a Leo male, Leo Aries Sag male that's there with the Ace of Swords energy. You know? You may want to know where this person went. And the tracking idea, you may want to track them. You know what I mean? Like I said, documents. They could have your documents. And the same example that I just gave between their interaction with the air sign could be what you're doing directly to them. You could be asking the air sign element to track them for you. That could be another, or that took it upon themselves. The air sign may have done some type of tracking on them, or they, like I said, they do some type of tracking on you or the air sign, because it has something to do with documents and information and where information goes. And I also get pay, where information goes, and it has something to do with pay, or something that you're paying for, something the air sign element was asked to pay for, or something that the air sign is paying for on their own with their information, something that the air sign element is paying for on their own with the King of Wands energy information, something that you're paying for or trying to do with the King of Wands energy information. It involves tracking. Doesn't have to be that your phone is tracked by this person. Tracking, and it doesn't have to be that. Tracking could literally mean hooking up the air sign element to do something with you or follow you. That's also a way of taking a whole person. A whole person can be utilized as a tracker. So for example, say the King One's energy is like a love partner that doesn't trust you. They could be a love partner that doesn't trust you, business partner that may not trust you, vice versa. So the air sign is being hooked up to have a conversation with King One's, have a conversation with you, follow you, go places with you, follow King One's, go places with King One's. That's also an idea of a tracker. People want to know what people are doing with people's information here, and where people are using other people's information to make payments on things with, but that's why they're hooked up. I'm looking at the Ace of Swords. That's why the air sign element is hooked up. That's why King One's hooked up. That's why you're hooked up to do something on them, whatever, vice versa, or the air sign. The future has the Six of Swords energy. So Six of Swords. So like I said, it's like a legitimate tracking, where it's a tracking device, or it's something's going on with a tracker that is in somebody's phone, or it's like on a computer, or it's like it's a person that someone is using like a tracker, in terms of a business deal, or like it could be a person being utilized metaphorically as a tracking device. Could be a friend that's being hooked up to call you randomly, a business partner that's hooked up to call you, have a discussion with you randomly, vice versa. It's really secretive, so it's like you don't notice, or somebody may think you don't, or the King Wands energy doesn't notice, or the air sign doesn't notice. The instincts has sign of Pisces as the moon card energy is there. There's no water sign. That's the first water sign that's shown up there. It's intuition. It's intuition what they do. It's intuition with what they do. It's intuition with what King of Wands male does. It's something that they're doing that you starting to realize, but don't care. So something that you realize that they're doing with someone, with your information, or just with someone, period, the tracking and the where they go and what they're doing, and banks and other states and lawyers and whatever it is that's surrounding them like that, or money, whatever, money laundering, whatever it is that they do. It's like you may not care. You may like, as long as it doesn't affect me, I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? But if it is affecting you, what you're trying to do, it may affect what you're trying to do, or something that you're doing that they're eyeballing, or that they're realizing that you're doing that they're starting to eyeball. It affects them. You know what I mean? It affects them. So it's like that's why the intuition card is in the instincts. It affects them. It's starting to affect them. You know what I mean? However you want to look at affect them. If they didn't necessarily find the earth sign, find the air sign, have a discussion with the air sign to do something with you, or to follow, watch you. They want the air sign element to watch you, but something about if it's not like that, and they literally ask someone to do that, then they're just eyeballing what you do with the air sign element by yourself. Like what you do, if the air sign doesn't have anything to do with the King of Wands, they just like. If the air sign doesn't have anything to do with the King of Wands, the air sign just likes you. But this energy, the King of Wands energy, may follow that, or they stalk air sign. They found a way to stalk the air sign. The air sign found a way to stalk them. But love. So when I say that too, love is intertwined with that. That's the intuition card of the instincts. Somebody's movement. If somebody, for example, say you have, I had an ex. Say you have an ex, for example. You deem a King of Wands energy to be like an ex. What's happening with them is that the air sign element may be a new partner to you, getting jealous. The air sign is like a new partner to you. They're getting jealous, or okay, I'll use the air sign element first as a new partner, and they're the ones that are getting jealous. So what's happening with it is that they may have moved on, or they're trying to act like they don't care, whatever it is, but they really do because of their movement. They really do because of a movement or an action that they're taking. And if someone broke up with you and they're trying to say they don't love you anymore, it's not true. It may not be true. They may love you still. They may love you, or they care about you to some extent. That's one. Then, if you're with the King of Wands energy and air sign distant, you're with the King of Wands. The air sign element is becoming distant, or they're just distant. Because there's love tied, you're using your intuition. Friend loves you. You're using your intuition that you can have a friend that's fallen in love with you, or your friend loves you. And a friend loving you could be like, you could be a female, and the air sign element, like I said, the Aquarian, whatever air sign, the air sign element, that they're just a regular friend, and but something's going on with them. They may have they are what's happening with them is that they may have fallen in love with you. King Wands energy, Aries or Sag, Leo, they felt somebody's like fallen in love with you in that sense. Or it's an Aquarius, a Libra, Gemini. The Aquarian is coming through strongly, Sag coming through strongly. But it can be any of those elements there, especially if you're dealing with men. Air sign element, if Swords energy show up here, then I would definitely feel really confident in the idea that it's either air sign element that's a male or female that is like in love with you. And there's jealousy intertwined with movement and those kind of things, which is really interesting. You're like, I thought you didn't care, so why are you bent out of shape? The Empress energy is here, sign of Libra, a Libra female and Aries female that's there. So if it's not those signs, it could be your mom or a motherly figure, like an aunt, a mom, a older sister, etc. Just a mother, a matriarch energy right next to the Three of Wands. You could be asking your mother, who to choose. You could be asking a mother who to choose. You're asking a mother, who should I be with? Or a sister, who should I be with? A cousin, who should I be with? You know what I mean? Or that could be you next to the Three of Wands. You could be embodying Empress energy as a mom or a motherly figure. And you're like, who should I do business with? Who should I live with? Who should I work with? Air sign or King of Wands. Ace of Swords energy. Who should I track? You know what I mean? Or someone, could be sharing that information when a motherly figure knows you're being tracked. You're sharing that information when a motherly figure and they know you're being tracked. That knowing you're being tracked, either tracked or watched or stalked by these elements here. By a King of Wands, by air sign, male or female. Those elements work together or they don't. Or one of them doesn't know about the other, and there's jealousy intertwined. So for example, say you're a woman and you've got two men, or you've got King of Wands and air sign male, that they stalk you. At different times. They stalk you at different times. They watch you at different times. You may not realize that, or you do, and you're telling them, okay, if you don't realize that, then you're sharing that with a parent, or you're sharing that with another co-worker. That sees everything. You're sharing that with another co-worker that just sees everything. You know what I mean? Or a housemate that just sees everything. A motherly figure that just sees everything. And they're trying to give you the heads up that they're watching you all the time, for good or for bad. So it could be like a good information watching you, like they need stuff from you, documents and things from you, or someone just loves you, or someone wants you back, or someone can't stand to see you with someone else and it's not them. Whatever, some really petty like that. But someone try to move like they don't care. I don't know. So if you're a woman, you could be trying to go to an Aries, a Sag, a Leo male, and the air sign man can't stand it. If you're a dude, you're trying to do business with a King of Wands, and you may be in a situation where an air sign dude or female, I get obsessed. An air sign dude or female is obsessed with the bond that you have with a King of Wands, or whatever it is. The spiritual self has the Four of Swords energy. So Four of Swords in your spiritual self is kind of like, just a minor depressive kind of feeling that is in the spiritual self, but it's changeable. It's right next to the Ace of Swords energy. You know what I mean? Four of Swords and not talking. Four of Swords is the air sign isn't talking. The air sign isn't talking. So it's a Libra, Gemini, Aquarian. Somebody isn't talking, or they don't want to talk. Whatever it is going on with them. But the not talking has something to do with something that you know. And it's because, and something that you know has to do with, like I said from the beginning, something that you know has something to do with what I was saying, with information that they're trying, I gather for Sag, information that they're trying to gather for Sag, gather for Aries, gather for Leo, Sag coming through strongly. It's information that they're hooked up to do. They're doing it on their own, or someone asked them to do it. Or reason why they're with you. That's the reason why they're with you all the time. That's the reason why they're with you all the time. So they could have been hooked up by King Wands. They could have been hooked up by Empress, Aries, or Libra female. You know what I mean? So it's embarrassing. So when I said too, something about that is embarrassing to them. And that could be why they're disappearing. That's why they're moving. That could be one. If they weren't hooked up, then they're just with you. Okay, if they weren't hooked up, then they're just with you. But I keep getting the reason. If they weren't hooked up by anybody like that, then they're just with you. But there's a reason, there's some interesting reason into why they are with you all the time. Someone's really, and it has something to do with tracking. It has something to do with a tracking. Oh, I see what's going on here. I see what's going on. This is interesting. I see what's going on here. Okay, now I understand. You, for example, like the reason Spirit kept emphasizing the reason why they're being tracked. The reason why they're with you is because they're being tracked. That's another thing. The reason why they're with you is because they're being tracked. Or someone that they're tied to. Okay, someone that they're tied to could be tracking them. Oh, I see. Say, for example, I'm trying to understand this. All right, I'm trying to think of an example here that's really like deep. It's a lot going on. Man, I gotta roll up my sleeves for this. All right. The reason why they're with you is because one is because if they're not hooked up by someone, is trying to protect documents. And one element Spirit is trying to help me. They're trying to protect documents for somebody, but it's like somebody that they're tied to. The person that they are protecting documents has them tracked. The person that is the person that they are protecting documents for has them tracked. And that person, and something's going on related to you. Something's going on with that person, may be related to you in the sense where like blood related to you in the sense where, related to you in the sense where you're already someone that you're married to, someone that you do business with, or someone that's a family member. They may have their documents, but need to be with you. So when I said too, they just need to be with you. If they have someone else's documents and they're in if they have someone else's documents and they're by themselves in a particular location, then something may go on with them where they may get in trouble, or they may get complained to. Whatever it is going on. It's weird. Or I'm trying to explain it properly, or it's like the reason why they're with you is your documents. They may have your documents, or they use your documents, or in order for them to continue using, they have to be with you. In order for them to be able to continue using, in order for them to be able to continue using your documents or someone else's documents that you know or that you're already tied to, they have to be with you or do something with you. And that may have been a promise that Sag gave. That was a promise that a Sag gave them, or whatever air sign element whatever fire sign male gave the air sign element that promise. They made that promise with the air sign, made that pact with the air sign, vice versa, whatever it is. It's strange. So when I said too, it's strange. It's really strange, but it has something, pay may be involved with that, taxes involved with that, documents involved with that. So it's like someone is asking you to go to go out to eat, go get coffee, go whatever, and something is really heavy about something is really heavy a bond. Something is heavy about the bond and what you do with the bond. But it's like something is heavy about the bond, something about what you do with the bond. But it's like it's something about it. It protects the King of Wands energy for some reason. So, for example, that was a bargain that the air sign element gave the fire sign, as to they make the air sign element a lawyer. The air sign element may have known, or they know a really good lawyer, but it's like the lawyer may be costly. Oh, I understand what's going on. I understand. Okay, the air sign element may have ran something by the fire sign and said, I know a really good lawyer that could help you, protect you, whatever it is that they need it for. So what's happening is that they, oh, Jesus. And your intuition, yes, your information is intertwined with that kind of contractual agreement that they set up with your information and theirs. But what's happening is the air sign is telling the fire sign energy, I have a really good lawyer, but they're costly. So what I'm going to do is I'm still going to hold on to your information. Can I go out with your partner? Can I do this, that, and the third with your partner? Or the fire sign energy said, do this, that, and the third with do this, that, and the third with you. And do this, that, and the third with you. And that's literally something about that is like pay for protect information. Something about that is being deemed as some type of pay to protect some type of information. Protect information that belong to the King of Wands energy. And yours, it's something that they're trying to do. You know what I mean? Something that they're trying to do. Somebody deems some type of movement like that to be protective. I don't know, which is something, or something about it is like something is costly. Someone's trying to bargain because something is costly about a lawyer. Something is costly about something that King of Wands energy is trying to do. So they're using you. They may be using you as like, well, what would be the perfect word for that? Collateral? Something that may be going on there like collateral. Someone that may be using something that you have going on as collateral to protect what they have going on. It's really interesting. It's a lot, but I'm not going to keep too long on that side. That's really interesting. Or someone may be like, let me go out. The air sign may be like, let me go out with him or her, or let me do this with him or her, or whatever. It's interesting. And I won't tell anybody that if I won't tell anyone. Oh, I understand. I won't tell anyone what you have going on if you let me use his. Okay, if you let me ID, if you let me use his or her ID or information, I won't reveal what you have going on that you deem to be in secret. Wow, that's just interesting. All right, what's it called? Who is this? Leo energy is here as the strength card. So the strength card will be, it's in your headspace. So it'll be strength. Your intuition is strong. Your third eye is open. Strength with the moon. Your intuition is really strong. Leo is involved. Leo, Pisces, known something for a while. A Leo and Pisces that you're tied to have known something for a while. Or it's a Leo. Like I said, it doesn't have to be verbal information. It could be like verbal information, document information that somebody is like doing really interesting bargaining with because they're trying to protect something. I get an aspect of themselves. They're trying to protect an aspect of themselves, and whatever that means. Like an aspect of themselves will be like where they stand in society, aspect of themselves. Where they stand in a workplace, aspect of themselves. Or something going on with their information they're trying to protect, The Eight of Cups energy is in a changing position. So the Eight of Cups it's in a changing position. So, you may no longer feel, because they're gone. You don't feel uncomfortable anymore because somebody's gone. It is your energy. So it could be the air sign gone. King Wands gone. Not really gone. When I hit King Wands, they're not really gone. Air sign gone, they're not really gone. Gone as in past gone, or gone as in like they left. What's another situation? Gone as in traveled somewhere else gone. Gone as whatever it is, gone. Or they're not gone as in like they were really tied to you at some point, and they may have made it seem they're an ex or their ex business partner, their ex whatever, but they're not really gone. Somebody may always be watching you through someone else. May always be watching you through somebody else that they hooked up. That's why Eight of Cups is there. Damn. The Page of Swords energy, or that could be something you're doing to them with somebody else too. The page, so you may not really be gone from someone or something. The Page of Swords energy is in the resolution going toward, and gone as in like it could be happening in a home environment too. Someone may not have really left the house. Someone may be somewhere watching and doing something strange. The Page of Swords energy is in the resolution going towards the Six of Swords. So the Page of Swords could be a younger person. It could be a friend of yours. Air sign could be them. You know, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Aquarian was coming through strongly. Page of Swords energy. But should I reconnect with? So you're like, should I reconnect with them? Or that could be some type of contemplation that they have about you. That's what a Four of Swords is in the spiritual self, because it has something to do with your knowledge, the knowledge that you have. I also get an investigator. The knowledge that you have about an investigator. The knowledge that you are starting to realize that someone, and however you want to look at an investigator, like a makeshift investigator, or that's literally somebody's career. That's someone's career that is literally somebody's career, but they may not have introduced themselves to you as an investigator. They may not be telling you that they are an investigator. The investigator that may be the bargain, like I said, of the King of Wands energy made with the air sign, because that may literally be somebody's occupation. The air signs or the King of Swords, or the King of Wands. That may literally be somebody. So it could be like, that's like a playful way to say it, or that's literally somebody's occupation. That's why the Page of Swords, Four of Swords, and Ace of Swords with the Six of Swords energy is there. But made friends with. So when I said you made friends with somebody, so they're like an investigator. They're like, that could be either the King of Wands or that's the King of Swords. That's the Swords, the air sign. One of them, somebody's like an investigator that made some type of really interesting bargain for whatever the extremity is. So it could be like a regular relationship that is happening, or it's extreme where it's information and identity and IDs and things of that nature are involved. And someone is an investigator and someone really doesn't know that. And with lawyers and lawyers being too expensive and whatever it is. There's a lot going on there. Right? And doing things in quiet and tracking with documents and whatever. It can go from really small energy to extreme depending on the situation. All right. Let's look for our outcome. With the Six of Swords is in the future, which means that you made friends with somebody accidentally. You could have accidentally made friends with an investigator, a private investigator. You don't know. I mean, obviously, when you're dealing with private investigators, it could be a private investigation that you're conducting on your own. Someone's conducting on their own. But it's like, hence the reason for the tracking. You know what I mean? However you want to look at that. Or it's like a makeshift one, or you made friends with a real one. I get at one point, you could have made friends with a real one at one point. A real private investigator, like that's somebody's occupation. Someone that you ended up interacting with. Let's do an outcome here. 2, 3. Four of Wands energy would be home, work, school, whatever environment that you possibly could be in that this is happening like this. All right. Four of Wands energy is in the outcome, you know. Four of Wands, this could be happening in a home environment. This could be happening in a school, or interactions with people in the school that is interesting, or someone that knows somebody that you know in a school, whatever it is, or it's a workplace, or some type of environment. You know, let me do another outcome here. 1, 2. The Three of Cups with something family talks about. So the Three of Cups with the Four of Wands, family talks about this situation that you have going on here. Like I said, Empress could be a mom that knows something in your family, or a motherly figure in your family that knows something. So that's a Libra female, that's an Aries female. They know something about a King of Wands energy, that's a guy, and they know something about air signs, whether the air signs are male or females, Aquarians, Aquarian coming through strongly, Gemini, and I said Libra already. You know, makeshift investigation, real one, or like tracking, like real tracking, fake tracking. Tracking, tracking is like, I'll give you a perfect example. If you have a business, if you have a King of Wands energy as a business partner, for example, you may have details about their information that you may be taking it to, okay, you may be taking that information somewhere. Then all of a sudden, calls. Then all of a sudden, the air sign element comes out of nowhere, and they call you, let's hang out. Let's go do this, that, and the third, and whatever. So what they're trying to do, they may be asking you a series of questions. What'd you do today? What'd you do during the day? That, all of that is like tracking through a person. That's tracking through a person that someone is doing like that. That's just an example, right? They're hooked up by King of Wands to do that, or vice versa. But like I said, love is also intertwined, and love is intertwined here with the way someone is moving like that. An ex is going through someone else, and the ex is going through someone else to find out things about you. As simple as that. But you don't realize, you know what I mean? You may not realize that, okay? All right, Scorpio, that's your reading. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you know where to find me. Be well. Take care. Bye.